Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the morning show on the Widu Radio Network, WIDU 1600 AM and 99.7 FM. We're glad you're with us. Sit back and stay tuned and enjoy today's program. And here's your host for today.
And good morning to you on this Thursday, and I'm telling you, man, the weather is warming up a little bit on today. It is a high of now of 74, and we can expect 85 today, which is moderate weather for this now, and I'm really happy that things are cooling down. Exciting show we're going to have on today. Have the mayor of the city of Baltimore is going to come on and talk about curbing crime, and they made national news with the lowering their murder rate. Have in front of me here Mayor Mitch Colvin, and so we're going to be talking and chatting. He's going to come on right at the half hour, the mayor of the city of Baltimore. But we're going to defer now to Raleigh, and we have another Colvin there, and that is Representative Michael Colvin. And he's going to be talking about something that the governor's office is conducting. Good morning, sir, Representative Colvin.
Hey, good morning. Good morning, sir. I hope you're well.
Right. I'm doing well, and so you got to acknowledge your big brother.
Hey, good morning, Mr. Mayor. And
morning, Representative.
How are you? And I'd like to begin by addressing everyone there with you all there in the studio. But today, we'd like to give a special thanks to the city of Fayetteville for teaming up with the governor's highway safety program, a program devoted to safety initiatives, traffic safety initiatives. And the city of Fayetteville and the Fayetteville Police Department, Chief Bryan, will be hosting this event today at 10 a.m. in the city of Fayetteville, which is the Booze It and Lose It campaign kickoff, as we prepare for the Labor Day holiday. All efforts are to try and promote a safe and healthy holiday season coming up. So the Booze It and Lose It campaign is a statewide campaign where law enforcement agencies will have increased traffic control in all in efforts to save lives. So we thank you all, and I plan to see you around 10 o'clock a.m., Mr. Mayor. And,
yes, sir.
And Mr. Williams, I hope to see you soon, sir.
Okay, appreciate you, brother. And you guys going to be launching from where?
It will actually be a live event at 100 Bragg Boulevard, the U.S. Airborne Special Ops Museum. In Fayetteville, North Carolina, at 10 a.m. this morning. You'll have law enforcement agencies from across the state represented there. Our own Fayetteville Police Department are the gracious host in collaboration with the North Carolina Governor's Highway Safety Program.
Excellent. Will there be any food? I haven't eaten breakfast yet.
Well, I'm coffee until 12 o'clock. But I'm sure there'll be light refreshments there.
Okay, well, appreciate you. But look, thanks so much, Representative Coleman, and we look forward to that. So you guys want to check in with that. Certainly, we do want to be involved with that. You know, that is the speeding and driving while impaired are the two killers on the highways. And so, you know, number one, need to slow down now. 295, they're writing a lot of tickets. Everybody's out there, man. State troopers, Fort Bragg, even deputy sheriffs got people pulled over. So, you know, 295 doesn't mean drive 295 miles an hour. so just slow down and don't drink and drive. Thanks so much, Representative, and we'll look forward to seeing you, sir.
Yes, sir, and I thank you all, thank the station for all that you do in relaying information to the residents of the community. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Back to you, Mr. Mayor. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. How you doing?
I do well. So excited about, connecting with the mayor of the city of Baltimore. I was watching him on a Sunday morning show, and they're really talking about the successes and the things that he was able to do in Baltimore, and and that's why we have an interest in him sharing what they did. Of course, we don't have their budget, but still,
right.
I think that they could have a blueprint, if you will, to how we can affect change. And I know that's something that you guys have been concerned about. There are some things that I believe that are advantageous, like Shot Spotter and some other things. Some people are against that, but like I was sharing with you, because my other job, what I do, I was talking to a client once, and they said, "Hey man, Shot Spotter is what got me." And I told somebody that. They said, "No, it wasn't Shot Spotter." I said, "Well, that's what he believes."
That's right.
So it's a deterrent to crime.
Right.
The things that you guys are bringing to the table.
Yeah, no, we appreciate it. I'm looking forward to talking to Mayor Scott again last week. It was a small group assembled in Massachusetts. Mayor Scott was one of the ones. It was called Innovative Cities, and had an opportunity to hear from him and the great things he's doing in Baltimore, to talk about how they've gone from nearly 400 homicides to about 100 in his short tenure, and the investments he's made. So he'll share a little bit about that. But it was only about 20 of us in there. We were there for about 5 to 8 hours, so it was a real intimate space. And then you had also Mayor Johnson from Chicago, who talked about some of the things that they're going through. You see a lot about Chicago and the violence, but actually his numbers are trending down, and some of the programs that he's put in place have worked. And then Randall Woodfin from Birmingham, Alabama, a little bit more similar to our demographics, but some of the things that Randall has done, and he and I were elected around the same time in 2017, and so. It is always good to hear how other people are addressing things. We've got similar challenges. We got similar advantages, and regardless of the size of budget or scale, we're dealing with some of the same things. And Chief Bryant gave our crime report the other day: 42, almost 46% reduction in homicides here in Fayetteville. 14 homicides to date, which is huge, and 1 or 2 were some domestic related, which are hard to get in front of. But some of the programs that we've put in place, that comprehensive approach of both investing in the community and the enforcement part of some of the tools that you talked about, I think are yielding those results.
Sure. And look, I can understand some people's resistant to some of the technology, even with the drones and everything else. However, I think that we cannot avoid trying to use those things in order to reduce crime. Right. Yes, if you're going to have something, somebody's going to misuse it.
Right.
Like, I forget what they call the thing, but it's those licensed breeders or something like that.
The LPRs, yeah.
Yeah, and some cops are getting in trouble.
Cameras, yeah.
Because they
looking up their girlfriends
and their wives. I mean, I'm like, look, as long as you have a human element to anything, somebody's going to mess with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for sure. But, what you can't do, and I don't think a lot of people try to draw you into it's either one or the other. Right. We've been doing both, and we've invested in Office of Community Safety. We put 2 mental health response teams in place this year. In this year's budget, we put almost $2 million, a little over $2 million over to OCS, $4 million collectively over the last 2 budget cycles. We're standing that department up to be able to mitigate gun violence. We've got our community violence interrupter program that's been implemented to where we have people on the ground intervening into conflict before it gets out of hand. So you've got to do that investment, but communities deserve safety as well. Shot Spotter, it gave its report the other day, a number of guns recovered in the second quarter, a number of shell cases that have been matched to other incidents, a number of arrests have been made. You've taken some real dangerous people off the street. One of the things that I like that Mayor Scott talked about is that they have all of those programs as well, and he'll talk about it, but they also have a stick approach that he'll probably get into some of what that looks like. And so I think you've got to do both, and you can't do too much enforcement and over-police communities. But, what's funny to me is you get a lot of people who are not in the community telling you what the community needs. They don't have to go there at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock at night and cringe because you don't want to go. You got to get inside before it gets dark because you're scared to go to your porch. Then nobody in any community should live like that.
Sure. Well, admittedly, I'm a senior citizen as well. There are a number of senior citizens that when you have a meeting and it's after dark, they're not coming out.
Right.
They don't. feel safe, especially, and I don't blame them if you have a female and you by yourself because you got to get out and get back in, and they're not coming out.
Right.
That's reality.
Right, for sure. But what we want to do is to make sure that if she wants to go to her porch at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, that she's not afraid of gunfire erupting or that she or he feels safe in their own community. You know, right up here on State Street, I helped PD deal with a problem that the community brought to me. A gentleman, one had been, a stray bullet came in through his house and hit him while he was sitting on the couch, in the shoulder. Few months later, then another shooting and bullet holes were found inside of his home in another place. And so, he had some people in the community that were reaching out to me saying, look, you've got to do something about it. We believe that the people who live in this house are either bringing or a part of all of this gun violence over there. We looked into it, staked it out, shot spot alerts went off, and some arrests were made. And this is about 1.5 years ago. And so we were able to cure that community right up the street of that particular element. And so the quality of life for that neighborhood just improved when that happened.
So do we have commercials need to run before the half hour, Mr. Producer? Okay, well, we're going to go to a commercial break. We've switched partners. We had in your former pastor, Reverend Carl Brickler. I'm not going to say anything funny. I'm not going to mess with him. And now we have Reverend Paul Matthews. We've been going to break. He's producing for us now. We'll be right back following this.
I'm Jamie Monticelli, WIDU Radio News. At about 4:15 p.m. on August 25th, Fayetteville Police Department officers responded to a multi-vehicle crash on Morganton Road at East Lockhaven Road that resulted in a fatality and multiple injuries. A total of 6 vehicles were involved in the collision. 26-year-old Francisco Irizarry Gonzalez of Fort Bragg was pronounced dead at Cape Fear Valley Medical Center. His next of kin has been notified. 7 other individuals were treated for non-life-threatening injuries sustained during the collision. They are expected to recover. The city of Fayetteville says it was a great morning at Tokay Park as they celebrated the ribbon cutting for the newly renovated courts. The space now features 10 pickleball courts and 3 tennis courts, meeting the needs of the growing and passionate pickleball community in Fayetteville. Be sure to stop by and break in the new courts with a pickleball game. From WIDU Radio, I'm Jamie Monticelli.
Good Thursday morning. We start your day with partly to mostly cloudy skies and temperatures at around 70 degrees. We'll keep that cloud cover throughout the day with some isolated storms possible later, and highs will reach the upper 80s to around 90. After some storms early tonight, we'll have mostly cloudy skies, and temperatures will drop to around 70 by Friday morning. Some scattered storms are possible later on Friday. Highs will reach the mid to upper 80s with more cloud cover. I'm meteorologist Grant Skinner in the NCN Weather Center.
Hey, you looking for your next car? Start at Bryan Honda, 4104 Rayford Road in Fayetteville. At Bryan Honda, we make buying a car simple, stress-free, and affordable. Whether you're searching for a brand new Honda or a quality pre-owned vehicle, we've got a huge selection to fit every lifestyle and every budget. From fuel-efficient Civics and Accords to family-friendly CRVs and Pilots, Bryan Honda has the perfect vehicle waiting for you, and with our friendly, knowledgeable sales team, you'll never feel pressured. Need financing? No problem. Bryan Honda works with multiple lenders to get you approved fast with competitive rates that make sense for you. Plus, our certified service department is here long after the sale, keeping your Honda running strong for years to come. Drive smarter, drive happier, and drive home today from Bryan Honda, 4104 Rayford Road in Fayetteville, or you can visit online, BryanHonda.com. Your road starts here. Nobody beats a Bryan Honda deal. Not now, not ever.
Your health matters, and Cape Fear Valley Health is here to help. Join us at the Emoja Festival Saturday, August 29th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Smith Recreation Center at Seabrook Park in Fayetteville for free adult health screenings. No appointment is necessary. Just stop by while enjoying the festival. Our team will provide screenings and health tips to help you stay healthy and informed. That's Saturday, August 29th, 10 to 1 at Smith Recreation Center at Seabrook Park in Fayetteville. Free screenings. No appointment is needed. See you there.
This is Carrie Sutton, past Cumberland County Board of Education member and chairman. I'm proud to endorse Charles Evans for Cumberland County Commissioner at Large. Charles understands the needs of Cumberland County. He has a heart for fairness and opportunities for everyone. He has shown real commitment to equitable reasoning budgeting, strong public service, and honest leadership. Cumberland County, join me on Election Day to vote for Charles Evans, Commissioner at Large.
This is Charles Evans, and I approve this message. Paid for by Friends for Charles Evans.
My name is Ron Ross. I need your vote for County Commissioner. If elected, I will focus on what truly matters, you, the people. Budgets will be transparent and efficient. I will support policies that create good jobs while protecting our natural resources. I will keep the voters' message strong. We want results, not continued broken promises. Vote Ron Ross, County Commissioner. Paid for by the committee to elect Ron Ross.
And we're back now. Again, we have Mayor Mitch Colvin in, waiting for our call with Baltimore City Mayor Brandon Scott to talk about crime reduction and stuff like that. And, there's a lot going on, Mr. Mayor, Of course, the whole conversation about data centers and everything is a nationwide discussion. There are people for it and against it. Yeah. And, it's just one of those things. But I don't see how you're going to not have it. I mean, either you're going to have one in your neighborhood and not neighborhood, but in your city that you can see, or you're going to be dealing with one in Taiwan or Philippines or somewhere that you can't see that you're still paying for.
Well, here's the thing. Part of, remember this conference was about innovation in innovative cities, even though it got into innovative ideas that we talked about earlier with Mayor Scott. But it talked about the fact that a lot of focus is on the data center, right, which is the housing of it. Right. But you still need to think about the movement of data. That is not going to change, right? That this is a piece of plastic, but for the data that moves to it that makes it a device. Right. And so they talked about that communities need to really focus on building your workforce for people who move data, because that is not going to change. There's going to be smart irons, smart coffee makers, smart, for you to turn your lights on. So data will continue to move from place to place. One of the things that they showed us there, which is it was a real debate going on in Gully Island, South Carolina. Where where the Geechees are. Right. They had a real big debate about a data center coming there. And the community got into litigation about it. They built it underground, or they proposing to build it underground, and they put a cultural center on top. And so I'm not saying for or against. The city council's in this situation because the law changed on us and we've got to fix that. But what they were talking about was that innovation will continue. There's things that, like the law didn't have anything in it for driverless cars. But they talked about what are you going to do in your community. They're already now piloting driverless forklifts. And so what are you going to do when Amazon goes to driverless forklifts? Where's your workforce going to come from? What happens if it gets cut in half? So we're going to program. Our goal now is to work with our universities, community colleges, and our labs to create next generation options for our people.
Right. Well, we have Mayor Brandon Scott online. Let's go to him now. And we have the mayor of the city of Baltimore, Brandon Scott, is on with us this morning. Say good morning to him. I'm your host, Troy, and I have your colleague, Mayor Mitch Colvin, in with us. And we are excited about having you, Mr. Mayor, to come and talk today about the great things that you guys are doing in Baltimore. I happened to see one of the Sunday morning shows, which was invigorating to hear you discuss what you all were doing in Baltimore. And of course, you know, you have a reputation, and that reputation has been there for quite some time, but obviously you guys are doing some positive things to change things. So I said all that, and I'm going to turn you over to the mayor now. But anyway, good morning to you, and welcome to the WIDU Widu Radio Network in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Thanks for having me, gentlemen. Thanks for having me.
Good morning, Mayor. I know you got up early and you moved some things around, man. We got a chance to talk a little bit last week in Massachusetts in the meeting, and you know you're a North Carolina guy by family roots, and so wanted to make sure that your home state could hear about some of the great positive things you were doing. Very impressive. We talked a little bit about it, and I told you I would follow up with you, but share a little bit about kind of what you shared on the panel about some of the things you've tried. You gave some great stats about traditionally how Baltimore was trending before you made some of the investments and changes, and talk about where you are now.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Man. Listen, always good to talk to North Carolinians. As a descendant of people from Enfield and Littleton and Halifax County, North Carolina is just as much as home as Baltimore is for me. But when you think about Baltimore, we do, brother, have that reputation. But you think about Baltimore as a place where I'm 42. In 18 of the 42 years that I've been alive, the city had over 300 homicides. And for most of my lifetime, they thought about dealing with that issue only through the lens of policing. But we know when we have a public safety crisis that you can't just handle it from one direction. So what we decided to do when I became the mayor is look at public safety through the lens of public health and present a comprehensive approach to dealing with gun violence. Yes, we were going to have our police officers and have them focus in a way that I'll get to, but we were also going to invest in community ways and public health-based things to help us reduce gun violence in the city. And what we're doing differently, and one of the most impressive things really is about how we think about where we focus our police efforts. So when I was growing up during the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, they basically believed in what we call breathing while black policing. If you were black and outside, you were most likely to be a criminal or a victim of crime, and they would put you in handcuffs for basically just existing. And when you think about it, for example, in the year 2004, the city had 278 homicides that year. They arrested 91,000 people, nearly 100,000 people in a city of 600,000. Last year, we fell to the lowest amount of homicides in recorded history, all the way down to 133, and we arrested less than 20,000 people, because it's never been about how many people you arrest. It's who and for what. Through our group violence reduction strategy, where we focus on the 2% of the population that are driving the violence, most likely to pull that trigger or have the trigger pulled on them, we go to them. They actually get a letter from me that says, look, you need to change your life. We'll help you do that. But if you don't, the police are coming. And when you think about GVRS, 90% of the people that have answered that letter and said, yes, I want to change, have not been re-victimized, and 90% of them have not recidivated into any acts of violence. But the others that haven't, a lot of them are in prison right now. And when you add on to that our investment into community violence intervention, where we actually pay people who used to be involved in that life to go out and prevent shootings from happening through Safe Streets and We Are Us and all these other community organizations, Uncle Chi and Challenge the Change, that is how Baltimore has, over the last 6 years, reduced homicides by 68%. And we're outpacing the nation's drop. Because, you know, they like to say when black cities are leading something, well, it's dropping everywhere. But it's not dropping to the clip that it's dropping here because of the investments that we've made. Simultaneously, we've made the historic investments into our school system. Since I've been mayor, we've opened 14 new schools, 9 new recreation centers, and I have 2 more to go this year before this year closes out. That is how we've been able to approach this in a different way.
Outstanding, man. Yeah, you shared a lot of those statistics there, and I was just talking to Troy before you logged on. We a few years ago took a comprehensive approach. We had some members on the council, and you're in a little different situation because you're a strong mayor, so